Alrighty, so today we're going to be looking at my Steam Replay 2022 because I thought it was actually really interesting information and everything. I just thought it was kind of a cool thing that Steam does. I didn't even originally know that they did this until a couple of my friends were kind of sharing theirs, and I thought that was kind of cool. And there's just a lot of like really neat info in here that it kind of sort of, I don't know, lets you know like what you kind of did throughout the year. So this is Nalyds Steam Replay 2022. So this year you played a lot of new games and unlocked quite a few achievements. So I'm not really sure why. I mean, I guess people still kind of sort of you know hunt for achievements and everything, but I'm not like normally going out of my way to get achievements. But first and foremost, we have Hunt Showdown. I have played this game apparently, I think, the most out of any game this year, and I can understand why. If you haven't played the game before, it's kind of like an extraction shooter, almost like Escape from Tarkov. I don't know, the extraction shooter genre has definitely been getting way more popular as of late, as far as like the last like 2 or 3 years goes. And I bought this game originally when it came out, and I wasn't really all that into it at the time. And then all of a sudden, we started playing the game again earlier this year, like kind of towards the beginning of the year, and I got a couple of friends into it, and we play it all the time, like almost every day. So very cool game. I don't know why, but it has definitely just been something that I have played consistently, so that's cool. Now let's Steam Replay 2022. I played 57 games this year, which is pretty decent. 30 of them were new, and then I played 4 demos. I don't even really remember playing that many demos, but all right. I don't normally play demos at all, but I don't know. For this second channel, I tend to like messing around with some things here or there, and I don't know. Maybe there were some upcoming games that I wanted to mess around with. I don't think I ever posted any videos doing demo stuff, but I had some that I had lined up that I wanted to kind of make videos on, but I never really got around to. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I did play through this game earlier this year. I made a whole video on replaying it. I played my 8% of my playtime for this year was this game, which is funny because that's around, I think that was around like 80 hours or something like that I played the game for, if I'm not mistaken. So the fact that it's 8% is kind of a lot, I guess. I don't know. I figured that would be lower because I mean, 80 hours definitely sounds like a lot, but I play a lot, so I don't know. I played 40 different sessions, which is kind of interesting. Oh, you can actually click on that. That's kind of cool. And it was basically all in February, so that's kind of cool. Achievements unlocked, 575 achievements, so that's kind of neat. 37 different games. I unlocked 56 rare achievements. If you don't know what rare achievements are on Steam, it means that 10% or less of the player base has that achievement, which is kind of cool. Elden Ring, I played 7% of my playtime was in Elden Ring, 44 different sessions. I was telling my friends when we were going over this earlier that I figured that my play sessions for this one would be higher because, you know, it's kind of like a game where you lose a lot. So I figured that I would probably play it more in short bursts, but I guess not. I guess I played it, pretty much as The Witcher, so kind of cool. 73% of my playtime was with mouse and keyboard because I prefer that, obviously, but some games just play way better with a controller. For example, Elden Ring and Witcher 3 both play fantastic on controller. Not really something I want to mess around with the mouse and keyboard on. How you compare. This is interesting stuff as well. I got to make sure that my webcam, face cam, or whatever isn't in the way of some of this information. You unlock 575 achievements, and the Steam average was 21. So I would say I'm pretty above average on that. You played 57 games, and the average was 5. So above average, for say. Your longest streak was 30 days. So I don't know. Every once in a while, I'm really bad to get into moods where I just don't play anything, rather watch YouTube videos or whatever. And I guess at some point one of those days struck. And after a month of playing every day, I took a break. That's fair enough. Average is 9, so understandable. The average being 9 is actually almost surprising to me because I know a lot of people have a lot going on. You don't really have time to play games every day, so the fact that it's 9 is actually kind of impressive to me. New releases, 29% of the percentage of games you played that were new releases, so they came out in 2022. So that's pretty interesting. 61% of games you played that were released in the last 1 to 7 years. So that's a lot. Most of my gameplay time is in that. And then 10% of the games played were released 8 or more years ago. Kind of wish it showed me which games those are, because I honestly couldn't tell you what old games I played this year. Out of curiosity, I don't know. So we have this graph. What are you? What are you? Are what you play. This spider graph shows the kinds of games that you spent the most time in 2022. So I can narrow all of these down for you. I played Marvel's Spider-Man because it came out for the PC this year, and that was really fun. Really enjoyed that game. Currently, at the time of me recording this, I have a friend playing Miles Morales right now, and I don't know that I'll play that one, to be honest, just because it's basically the same game, just with some minor changes here and there, and I just don't know if I want to do that again. But it was a really good game. The first Spider-Man game, super, super good. Souls-like, that's obviously just a bunch of Elden Ring right there. I don't think I played any other Souls games or anything. I don't know. It seems very popular nowadays that Steam games sort of get classified as Souls-like, so there might be other games that are contributing to this factor, but I honestly couldn't tell you what they are. But obviously Elden Ring came out this year, so I'm assuming a majority of that is Elden Ring. Cyberpunk. I just literally finished a playthrough of Cyberpunk. I have some footage that I'm sitting on to maybe make a video about it. I don't know if I'm going to or not, but I'm planning to, so if you see that eventually, okay. MOBA. I tried out Smite for the first time this year. Wasn't a huge fan of it. I'm not a big MOBA guy in general. I particularly liked to play Dota 2 back in the day, but I don't even really play that anymore. There's probably a little bit of Smite in here and a couple of games of Dota 2 that I play with a friend who still plays it all the time, so not exactly sure why this is as much as it is. It honestly feels like it should be lower. I'm not sure if there's other games attributing to that as well. Auto Battler, this is Super Auto Pets. If I'm not mistaken, there was like a good chunk of time, like way earlier this year, where I played a lot of Super Auto Pets. It wasn't like an absurd amount or anything, so kind of funny that it even made it on there. And then Space. I can't remember what other games I would have played that were under Space, but I did make a video on Hard Space Shipbreaker. And that game was really, really cool. I really enjoyed that one, and I even played it a little bit more after I finished the game. So I can only assume that that's what a lot of this is attributed to, but maybe there was some other games that could have possibly went into that. I'm not positive. I don't do too much community-wise on Steam, but I wrote 7 reviews, earned 5 badges, and gave 2 awards away, community awards, and that was just because that was a new feature this year, and I gave them to 2 friends of mine. I didn't make any friends, didn't give any games, didn't screenshot anything and share it, didn't contribute to discussion posts, I didn't write guides or any of that stuff, so yeah. Let's take a look at your top played games. So, Hunt Showdown. Very, very interesting one for me. I didn't play any in January or February here, as you can see. 36% of total playtime went to Hunt Showdown, which is pretty interesting. 247 different play sessions, which is obviously, if you're cutting out the first 2 months, that's me playing pretty much, like, not every single day, of course, but a lot of days this year went to Hunt Showdown, of course. And then I played it 18 days in a row at one point, apparently. So that's kind of cool. We started in March, obviously, and then the most playtime was in July. I want to say that there might have been an event going on in July. I can't remember. They have done events here and there, and there's currently an event going on, so we're playing it a lot right now. So I don't know if all of this December playtime is actually getting it, like, put it in or inputted into the graph here, but did get a couple of rare achievements on this game just because I play it a lot, which is kind of cool. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. As you can see, all of my playtime is basically in February, which means that I put 80 hours into this game in 1 month, which is weird to think about, but it is what it is. 8% of my total playtime, so yeah, that's pretty cool. 40 different play sessions. I played it 8 days in a row, apparently. I'm not even sure what this one is. Maybe, I know that I didn't, like, absolutely 100% finish this playthrough. I got through the main game and campaign. I played through Hearts of Stone, which was the very first DLC that came out, and then Blood and Wine is a much bigger expansion. And I want to say that I did not complete Blood and Wine all the way through. I played probably half, if not maybe less than half of that DLC, and then I could feel that I was getting sort of sick of playing the game at that point, so I went ahead and just finished off the campaign, so that way I could cap off the playthrough and never touched it again. I assume that me taking a break in March is like me being like, I'm sick of the game, but I really want to finish it kind of thing. So I came back in April, left the DLC, and just did the final mission, so that way I could finish the campaign. So that was kind of cool. If you haven't played Witcher 3, I don't know. It's literally everybody's played The Witcher 3, so I probably don't even need to tell you. Elden Ring was really good this year. I'm really looking forward to any sort of DLCs that they make. I was really hoping that they would announce one at the Game Awards, but they did not. But yeah, 7% of my playtime this year to that. 44 different sessions. I played it 10 days in a row. Started this year, of course, because it came out this year. And I did 100% this game. I normally don't go for achievements, but this was a game where I was like, I'm really having fun with this one. So I went ahead and like did a couple of extra like speed run playthroughs where I just blew through the game very quickly, so that way I could get the other endings to see those. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, played, obviously it came out in February. I'm pretty sure it was late February, like the 20th or something maybe, and a lot of it in March, little bit in April. Not really sure what this one in June was, to be honest, but this little bit here. But oh well, got every single achievement. Very cool. New World. I did play New World this year a little bit. I got back into it a tad because of the Brimstone Sands DLC that came out. So, or not, no, it's not necessarily a DLC. It's just an expansion to the world. It was okay. Honestly, it wasn't anything to write home about. It was all right. I mean, it's a free to play, or not free to play. It's a pay with like no subscription, so you don't have to continuously play for this, unlike a lot of other MMOs. So it kind of like has that going for it, where I can literally just, if anything new gets added, I can hop on the game and play it. And this was the first expansion that they did, and it was pretty good. I mean, it was all right, but I don't know. I haven't touched the game in a while, so yeah, it is what it is. Dead by Daylight. I did play a lot of Dead by Daylight towards the end of last year, and obviously a lot at the beginning of the year, and then it drops off pretty hard. I played a little bit in October because they were doing an event, and like me and a couple of friends sort of like do a 4-stack, and we'll play together. But this game has slowly, like, absolutely destroyed me. So I don't know what it is. I don't really find the game that enjoyable anymore. But I mean, it's an okay game. But after you put several hundred hours into it, just every little thing sort of gets on my nerves about it for some reason, and it is what it is. When you play a game long enough, you start to hate it. It just kind of is one of those things. So yeah, either way, it's a cool game. If you haven't tried it, definitely try it out. It's pretty fun, but I don't know, after you play it for a really long time, like I've gotten my money's worth. This game is like $20 or something like that, and I've got over 400 hours in it or something, so I would say I got my money's worth out of it. But I did buy a bunch of DLCs, so maybe not. I don't know. Probably, though. Your playtime by month. So this one's really interesting. This is like every month what you played. So you can see here in January, majority of it was Dead by Daylight, and then 75% of it was other games. It looks like I played Project Zomboid, Chivalry, the first one. I don't even remember playing Chivalry at all. Dark Souls 3, apparently a little bit, so there's a little bit of Souls-like that contributed. I think we were doing a Dark Souls 3 playthrough to get ready for Elden Ring, and then they cut the servers off because there was like a huge exploit that somebody found on the Dark Souls servers originally, and so I was going to play it with a friend and ended up just playing through it solo, which was my very first time playing a Souls game like completely solo, and it was pretty enjoyable. So if you haven't done that, I would recommend it. Fallout 4 was pretty fun. I don't remember if I did like a full playthrough or anything. I probably just hopped on there to like mess around or whatever. But I haven't played Fallout 4 in quite a while. Like actually played it. So that's interesting. Golf with your friends, really fun, like little putt putt kind of game. If you have friends to play it with, very enjoyable, honestly. Among Us came out, or well, it didn't come out this year, but it got really popular this year, of course, and probably a little bit last year. So I played that a little bit. I don't play that at all anymore, but it is what it is. Horizon Zero Dawn came out to PC this year, so that was really fun. I enjoyed that game, and apparently two more. Let's see here. Elden Ring came out in February, of course. I was finishing up the Witcher playthrough here before Elden Ring came out. A little bit of some other stuff. Left 4 Dead 2's on here. Gang Beast was kind of fun. We played that with some friends. VR chat. I remember we hopped on there for like 2 hours maybe one night. So that's not anything crazy. Fun game if you have VR or even if you're on just the PC version. Very fun. And then we got Deep Rock Galactic this this month, and we played Deep Rock Galactic. You can see like several times. It's on the charts here. Very, very cool game. Just we don't have it's basically just me and one other guy who ends up playing it. So it would be a lot more fun with like a 4-stack. And like if you got into it more, but just playing it with 2 people just isn't as enjoyable as it would be, so that's kind of unfortunate. But Soul Calibur 6 is on there. I don't play fighting games at all, but I remembered that I owned it, so I downloaded it and tried to make my own character and mess around with it a little bit, and it was alright. It was kind of cool. I used to play Soul Calibur growing up. But yeah, not as much. I basically just main games here, and then a little bit of playtime was on other stuff. Rounds is on here. Very, very fun indie game that I played with a buddy of mine, and he became really good at it, and I absolutely do not want to play the game ever again. So I don't. It's really fun though. It's like a 1v1 style where you pull different kinds of like abilities and everything. It's very RNG based, but it's enjoyable. Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands. I made a video on that this year. So if you haven't seen that, feel free, I guess. Knights of Pen and Paper 2, that we must have went up to Virginia this year, or in April at some point for, I think, a buddy of mine's birthday. And I'd had that downloaded on the laptop because it's a very terrible laptop, so it can't run a whole lot. I started Eastward. I actually ended up dropping the game, but it was a very cool game. Other things ended up coming out. I ended up not getting around to it and just forgot about it, basically. But that was kind of cool. Played through all of Wolfenstein New Order. So that was kind of cool. Tried to play Red Dead Redemption a little bit. I don't remember that. I think I maybe played like the beginning. Oh yeah, I did play the beginning of the game and then kind of just never touched it again. I've played through most of it, but I've never beat it. But either way, Super Auto Pets was on there a little bit. I bought Tricky Towers with a friend, and then we ended up refunding it just because we knew we weren't going to get as much playtime out of that. I played through all of Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, so that was cool. It was a sequel to the first one, of course. Raft was pretty cool. We played that quite a bit with a friend. The Anacrusis. Oh, the Anacrusis was like a free weekend that we played. It was basically just like a rip-off of Left 4 Dead, but in space. So that's funny. That's probably where some of that space gameplay time came in. I bought the Battle Pass for Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege this month, apparently. Played that quite a bit. Not the greatest shooter I've ever played. It still has quite a big following, but it's really sweaty. Not my favorite shooter to play. Ready or Not was kind of cool. Way too realistic for me, though. The mechanics are way crazy, but very cool game. Jedi Fallen Order. Dropped that one eventually. Evolve got really popular there for a little bit because people figured out that the legacy servers were back online or something like that. So that was kind of cool to touch on a little bit. Played through Unpacking. That was kind of cool. I'm pretty sure I played that on this channel. Hard Space Shipbreaker was this month. Played up Demo, and then we ended up getting Played Up later on. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Dota 2 a little bit. Valheim, a couple of friends had like a playthrough going of that. I joined like a little bit here and there. I played through all of Mafia Definitive Edition this year, so that was kind of cool. Actually, pretty good. The Definitive Edition's really good. The original game came out a long time ago, and it looks like absolute balls. So, wouldn't recommend playing the original, but the Definitive Edition was really cool. Cult of the Lamb came out and was really fun. I enjoyed that one. Not as long as I was anticipating it to be, but it was pretty enjoyable. It's an indie game, so it's not really supposed to be like super long, of course. Finished up Mafia this month, I would imagine. Yeah, probably. Super Auto Pets is on here a little bit. And then I joined a little bit of Stardew Valley that some friends were playing just to kind of see what was going on. Played through all of Doom Eternal in November. That was pretty good all up until like the last mission was like absolute hell. So that was kind of crazy, even with it being on just like a normal difficulty. Deathloop, I made a video on that. Deathloop was actually very enjoyable because I got it out of like a Humble Choice or something like that from Humble Bundle. So it was like super cheap. But actually a pretty good game. Very enjoyable game. I was kind of impressed at how much I liked that game with a lot of like sort of wishy-washy reviews for it. And then this month I downloaded Marble Snap on my phone and played it a little bit, and then I realized that they had it on Steam, so I played it a little bit on Steam. And I just finished through the entirety of Cyberpunk this month. So yeah, quite a bit of playtime there. 27% of playtime was with a controller, so 13% was played up. Obviously, these two are on there. Spider-Man was with a controller. God of War was with a controller. I don't even remember seeing God of War on here, unless it was one of the big games that I played this year. I'm not sure. I would imagine it was closer to the beginning of the year, but could be wrong on that. I don't know. I think that was this year, but I'm not 100% on that. Your longest daily streak, I played for 30 days in a row, apparently, and I played these games inside of that. Pretty sure I was probably playing through the Battle Pass on this one. This was probably still in the rotation a little bit here and there at the time. I was trying out Smite because a buddy of mine really likes Smite, but I'm not a big MOBA guy anymore, so I don't really play that. Golf with Your Friends is fun. Deep Rock Galactic. Still played a lot of Hunt Showdown. I was apparently in the middle of my playthrough of Wolfenstein. Probably finished it up. Played through Unpacking for this channel. Jedi Fallen Order. I played through about half of this and then ended up dropping it. I don't know a whole lot about Star Wars, so I was kind of just playing it for the gameplay aspects of it, and just kind of ended up getting a little bit bored with it, unfortunately. And then I bought Monster Hunter Rise. Really bad purchase for me specifically because I played it for like a couple of hours to the point to where I couldn't refund it, and I was like, this is really cool, and then I had nobody to play it with, so I never played it again. So that kind of sucks. Explore games that you played this year. So yeah, looks like here's just a giant grid, but yeah, very, very cool stuff. There's a buddy of mine. But a lot of games, a lot of stuff. I played a lot of games, and I basically try to play all of them on Steam if possible. I'm not like a purist or anything. I do play other games on like Epic Game Store and everything, but a large majority of my games are on Steam, so just makes sense. This is where a lot of my playtime is. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I don't know if you've looked at your Steam recap or anything. Just if you want to leave me some info on what you kind of enjoyed playing this year, I'd love to read through it. But if not, it's cool. Completely understandable. But either way, thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next one.